Mandatory evacuations are in place for parts of the Outer Banks.
Some neighbors have boarded up and headed out of town. However, some are choosing to stay behind and weather the storm. 10 News Side's Jason Marks now live in Nags Head. And Jason, the Outer Banks is no stranger to hurricanes.
Don, today the Outer Banks, very busy place. A lot of this going on, a lot of boarding up shops like this one here in Nags Head. It is very, very hard work and work that needs to be done because everyone knows how devastating a storm could be. It's the final preps before Dorian arrives.
So if you don't have your stuff tied up, put away by now, then you better forget it.
And Nags Head business owner Tim Chambers knows this drill far too well.
I've been here for 30 years and wrote every one of them out.
Chambers has spent the last 3 days preparing for the storm.
But now is crunch time because the wind's going to start blowing and the rain's going to start coming, and then it's miserable.
Dorian will blow into the area tonight. Chambers believes this one could be a troublemaker.
This one seems to be a little different. We're starting to take it a little more serious, seeing that it's gained strength and intensity in the way it's coming up behind us. If it comes behind us, it's going to be a lot worse than usual.
That's because of potential soundside flooding.
The water comes from every direction. It's just a giant mess.
Everyone is getting ready for the worst.
So I know what the effects can be from a terrible storm.
But the hope is that storm doesn't end up being that terrible.
We just have to wait and see what happens at this point.
Those days they once had are now down to hours and soon will be minutes. Then we'll know if it's Dorian who puts the screws to the Outer Banks.
I hope nothing comes of it. I hope I put all this up for no reason, but it don't look like it's going to be that.
And the hope by everyone here is all of this has been put up for no reason. Of course, you can't take any chances with a storm like this coming up the coast. We are under a tornado watch here in Dare County. I can tell you there is some concern on the sound side. The way the storm is projected, I just talked with the mayor of Kill Devil Hills, and she tells me she's concerned that once all the water is blown out of the sound, that people are going to want to explore and think that the worst is yet to come and walk on the bed of the sound side, and then all of a sudden the water comes rushing back, and that's where we could have an issue. Obviously, mandatory evacuations for Dare County and Currituck County remain in effect. We'll have an update for you coming up at 12:30, but for now, that's the latest here in Nags Head. Busy day here at the Outer Banks. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.